What's up? Hey y'all. Thank you for joining me this Friday. It's Friday. Thank y'all for joining me. Hey Courtney. I appreciate you popping on. What's up? What's up, you guys? Hey Demetrius. Thank you for joining. What's up, Erica? I appreciate y'all. It's Friday. It's the F word. The F word. I'm so excited to have you guys joining me. Happy Friday. I'm not driving this time, so yay. Thank you for all of y'all that text me, that messaged me to make sure that I made it to my destination last week safely. I'm not yelling today either. Today is a much more mellow day. I just want to talk to y'all today. I have some things that I definitely want to share. So do me a favor. Hey, Pamela, thank you for joining. Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, do me a favor. Those of you that are on, go ahead and share this broadcast. You know that I ask you guys every week to partner with me in getting my message across. Why? Why is this so important? Because I desire to have good morning, Rochelle. I desire to bring 144 people into their purpose this year. And I do that through a combination of my coaching, my teaching, my speaking, and through these videos. These videos are not just so y'all can come on and see how cute I look. I actually desire to impact a nation. I desire to affect the world with positivity, with purpose, and with light. So partner with me in doing so. Go ahead and press the share button while you guys are on. Listen, I am so excited. I'm so super excited to have you guys joining me. I see y'all popping on from everywhere, and I appreciate it. I am going to jump right in. I promised y'all that today is going to be real chill. Look, this is my first cup of coffee. This is only cup number 1. I've barely taken a sip, right? I've barely taken a sip, so I'm not amped. I have no anger, anything that I'm going to unleash today. I just want to talk to you guys. What sparked today's topic? Hey, Thomasina, thank you for joining. What sparked today's topic is, all month we've been talking about getting back to the authentic you. And then it kind of hit me. It was like, Joe, maybe people don't know that they're fake. And that is a great observation, right? One thing that I know for certain is that when somebody is studying something to determine its authenticity, they don't spend time studying the counterfeits, right? So what I wanted to do for this last segment, instead of studying or talking about what makes you fake, I want to talk about what makes you real, all right? What makes you authentic, right? It's kind of like when they're studying money. There's so many different forms of counterfeit cash out there that I highly doubt that they spend time trying to discover each one of them. But when you know the real thing, you can measure it up against anything that comes against it to say that it is that, because you know what's real. You've experienced what is real. You know what it is to be authentic. You study the real thing so that when anything that comes up and says that I'm this or presents itself as if it's such, you already know off rip, like, that ain't it, right? One of the things that I measure, hey Michelle, I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you guys. One of the things that I love to bring to people's attention when it comes to love, I know that I talk to different women that have been in abusive relationships or just things, difficult relationships and situationships, right? And one of the things that I have them do is measure what they're experiencing or what they're in against what they view love as, right? Hey Jermaine, thank you for joining. Hey Janae, I appreciate y'all. I love these comments, loving these hearts, right? So we sit down and I say, so what is love? One of my favorite scriptures is a scripture in Corinthians, talks about what love is. Love is patient and kind, and it doesn't envy, it doesn't boast. So we compare what you're experiencing against the true definition. So then you're able to see if what you think is love is actually love. So today we're going to do the same thing, because all month we've we've been talking about what is fake and what is real, and peeling back layers and getting back to the authentic you and discovering the real you and driving in your own lane. We've been talking about that all month, but it may be difficult for some people to sit and say, I am me. I'm the person that Joe's been fussing at, right? That is me. That's who she's talking to. It's very difficult when you don't have anything to measure it against. So let me give you some characteristics of what it means to be authentic. So this was sparked because I was listening to a podcast. Those of you that know me, you know I love to read. You know I love podcasts. You know I enjoy learning, right? I don't spend time watching TV. You would miss me if you were talking about reality shows. I have no idea what's happening, right? Songs come on the radio. If I know him, it's because my kids just taught me a dance or something, like, right? And so that's me. I enjoy learning. I look for new ways of learning. So I was listening to a podcast, and one of the discussions on the podcast was they talked about, was Superman the real person, or was Clark Kent the real individual? And I found this to be a very, very interesting subject. And one of the reasons is because, they went back and forth, they debated, but I believe that Superman was the authentic person. And I believe that because he was most in that state of being Superman, in that state of saving others, in that state of being selfless, in that state of depicting strength and being the epitome of strength and defying gravity and defying odds, in that picture, in that place, he was most close. He was most like his God nature. He was closest to the characteristics of God, right? Hey, Liz, I love you, Dow. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Ty, I appreciate you guys that are just popping on. So today we are ending the fake series, and what I wanted to do was make sure that I pointed out what it means to be real, because I know that you cannot determine anything. You have to have something to measure it up against. And why study what it means to be fake when we can study the characteristics of authenticity, and then you'll be able to determine if you live that authentic life, because anything outside of authenticity is fake. So it'll challenge you to get back to being the authentic you, right? So in the story of Superman was most like his God nature. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't He wasn't scared. He wasn't timid. He was strong, so he wasn't weak. He wasn't wimpy. A lot of times I call it this false humility, where we try to act as if we're these lowly people, where we don't think highly of ourselves. That is not like my God. I'm sorry. I don't know who created you, but the person that created me, and the one that created the entire universe and everything that we know it, life today as we know it, he was a beast. Okay, and not in a negative sense at all, but he was never afraid, so why should I be? He was never timid, so why should I be? He never allowed anyone to walk over him, so why should I? He showed love, so why shouldn't I? What is it that people see in you that reminds them of the God that you say you serve, that reminds them of the God that you say lives in you, right? So I want to challenge your authenticity today. How authentic are you? So we're going to be talking about some characteristics of authenticity. One of my favorite is selflessness. I can tell the authenticity, or I judge someone's authenticity by how selfless they are. How selfless are you? Are you willing to lay down your life for a friend? Are you willing to esteem someone higher than you esteem yourself? Do you think that you got it all together? Do you think, are you above wrong? How selfless are you? Where's your servitude? I measure this against, where's your servitude? Who have you helped? Who have you assisted without getting anything in return? This is our authentic nature. This is a characteristic. This is an attribute of our Creator. So if we're made in His likeness, if we're made in His image, then we should see these things in each other. So I question how authentic you are if I don't ever see you in service of someone else. If it's always about what you need, if it's always about you, if it's always about what you can get, I question your authenticity. Okay? Another thing I measure it by is vulnerability. A lot of times I grew up in a household where I thought vulnerability was a weakness. And it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized how much of a strength vulnerability is. Like, to position yourself to say, I don't have it all together, and here is where I am weak, so that someone else can come and pour into you and to develop that area so that you can become strong. That is a strength. That is the epitome of strength. So who do you position yourself as vulnerable to? Are you walking around as if there is no error in you? Is your head so high up in the air, baby, that you smell your own? Listen, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to go there. It's the F word. And I know y'all used to me spazzing, but today is not my spaz day, okay? Today is my chill day. Today is the day I need you guys to hear what I am saying. How are you positioning yourself for vulnerability? How are you positioning yourself to show where you need to develop, where you need to grow, areas that you need to mature in, right? Position yourself for vulnerability. Where's your integrity? This is an attribute of authenticity. Integrity, doing what's right regardless as to who's around, regardless if you have the whole crowd watching or who has something to say or who's commenting. How is your integrity? Are you doing what's right even when nobody is watching? Are you doing what's right even when you're by yourself? Where is your integrity? This is how I measure authenticity. These are attributes that the authentic embody. Are you embodying this? Instead of talking about what fake looks like, okay, that might not be what your fake looks like, but do you look like this? That's my question today. Those of you that are on, thank you again for sharing. Thank you again for joining me and watching. I want you guys to press share because somebody needs to hear this. Continue and partnering with me to spread this message. If you haven't already, I made a public figure page for Joe the Giant, right? I made a public figure page. I need you guys to start going over and liking and subscribing to the notifications because pretty soon I won't be going live from this page anymore. I've been doing my entre tips and I've been coming each week to give you guys some great information and some great nuggets to hopefully propel you in a new direction. But pretty soon it won't be available on this page anymore. So I need you to go like that public figure page, subscribe to those notifications so that you're aware of what's happening and what's going on at Chase Gray and with Joe the Giant. All right, so today we are talking about authenticity. One thing that I know that I absolutely wholeheartedly believe is that you cannot be authentic unless you have come into the knowledge of self. Unless you know who you are, unless you know why you were put here, unless you know what problem you're here to solve, unless you know what solution you're here to provide, you cannot be your authentic self. If you have not come into the knowledge of your purpose, if you don't have an understanding of why it is you were created, you cannot be your authentic you. You have no choice but to be what people tell you because you have not taken the time to discover for yourself exactly who you are. So I want you guys to really understand that. If you have not sat down, get a journal, get a book, get a notepad, get some paper, grab a pen and ask yourself, what is it that makes me me? Okay, what is it that I was created here to do? Who am I here to serve? Who am I called to? Because you won't be authentic in anything when you don't know yourself, who you are. You'll take on the labels that everyone throws at you. You'll take on the boxes that you decide to stay in or that people have placed you in, that society or your circumstances have put you in. You'll stay in that box because you don't realize that you can break free. Okay, so here at Chase Gray, we have something so super dope. You know that we're coaches. We're a team and a community of coaches that want to develop you personally, in business, professionally, internally. We focus on ways to help you grow. We have a purpose discovery session that is coming up with our founder, Latoya Early. If y'all not following her, you guys need to head over to her page and follow her at Latoya Early on Facebook for Maximize Your Monday. But this coming Thursday, I'm sorry, not this Thursday, next Thursday, May 11th at 7 o'clock here at the Chase Gray office. We'll also be offering it live. We're going to walk you through a purpose discovery session because I cannot tell you how to be authentic. I cannot teach you how to live an authentic life unless we know who you are at your core. Everybody was created for a reason. There is not anything created that does not solve a purpose. Now, it may not be beneficial to you, like the little noodle the noodle that was created, the foam noodle that goes in the pool when you're swimming, I'm not going to find that useful. Why? Because I probably won't be in that water, right? So that it was created to serve those who like water sports, who enjoy playing in the water, who like flip-flopping around and getting wet, okay? That's who it was created to serve. You like that noodle, you have a purpose, right? This table, it was created so that we could put stuff on it, so that I can sit down and enjoy my meal, so that I can set up my desk, so that I can have my laptop and be able to sit down and write out this great stuff for you guys. You yourself have a purpose. So until we get to the root of what it is you were created to solve and whose solution you are, because you are somebody's solution. Somebody is waiting for you to show up and solve or meet their needs. So until we get to the root of that, you'll live a life and you'll continue to put on layers of fake. You'll continue to put on everything else that doesn't serve you. You'll continue to live a life that's not pleasing or not gratifying because you haven't identified what it is you were called and what it is you were created to do. So on Thursday, May 11th at 7 o'clock, I want you here at the Chase Gray office. If you're out of state, that's fine. You can attend virtually. We have a virtual classroom where you're able to attend. You'll get the workbook. You'll get the coaching just like everyone else. And we want to get to the root. We want to get to the core of what it is that you were created to do. Okay? Why are we doing this? Because so many times we get so caught up in this race. And that's what a characteristic of the fake is, right? Where there's a race, where you're trying to stay ahead so that nobody catches up, right? We're here at Chase Great. We want you to focus on the greatness in you. So if the focus is your greatness, if the focus is your purpose and bringing clarity to it, then that's what you're going to continue to go after until you obtain it. We want your focus to not be geared or directed towards what's happening around you and who's doing what and why their business looks like this and why their family looks like this and yours doesn't. Why their bank account looks like this and yours ain't looking like that. Why their travel or their life that they put out to social media, which may not even really be true, why it looks like this in picture and yours in theory is not what everybody else is displaying. So we want to get you to the core of who you are. We want you to join us. Make sure that you're here. We have a phenomenal facilitator for that event, Miss Latoya Early herself. She'll be walking you through that purpose discovery session. Of course, I'll be here chiming in, throwing in my 2 cents because y'all need a little whooping every now and then, right? But I want you there. So if you haven't already done so, then do it, okay? Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you. Those of you that are on, don't forget to share this video. We talked about being the authentic you, getting to a place of authenticity. What does that look like? That looks like servitude. That looks like not dimming down your light. That looks like integrity. That looks like having and embodying strength. That looks like positioning yourself for vulnerability, identifying your weaknesses so that you're able to build upon them and turn them into strengths, okay? What it does not look like watering down who you are so that you can make somebody else feel comfortable. That is not what your superpower looks like. That is not what it looks like at all. That is not the authentic you. You do not have to water you down, dim you down, tame you down, put a muzzle around you so that other people can feel good about themselves. No. Are you embodying love? Are you embodying joy? Are you, when people come into you, do they change? When they come into your presence, do they leave the same? How are people leaving when they come into interaction with you? All right? All right, you guys, I want you to think about that. I want you to measure yourself up against what's real this week. Measure yourself up against what's real so that you can identify the areas where you've been being fake, okay? Another thing, if you're in the Detroit area, tomorrow I am speaking at an amazing empowerment event. Y'all know I love to talk. I love to encourage. I love to pour into people. So tomorrow I'm a guest speaker out in, where am I going? Southfield. I want you guys to join me. It is free. It's free. It's free. Come hear me. Come hear me. There'll be some phenomenal workshops that are happening. I'm not facilitating the workshop, but I am a keynote, and I want you guys to come out and hear me so that I can pour into you, so that I can love on you. Many of you, Antoinette, I was just telling Antoinette this week, she has been following me, and I had no idea she went to my church. I looked up last week in Bible study like, that's Antoinette. She follows me on Facebook. I had no idea she went to my church. So I want you guys to come out tomorrow. And those of you that follow me, those of you that appreciate my message and love to sit down with me on Fridays at noon, I want you guys to come out and meet me tomorrow. Workshops start at 8 a.m. All right, they have some amazing topics. One of them is fear behind pain. Another one is abuse is abuse. You know I love that. Abuse is abuse. Verbal, physical, mental, whatever. Abuse is abuse, all right? It's called Beauty and the Beast, all right? They have another workshop called Unmasking the Mask. We've been talking about that all month, so y'all should come in and fit right into that. Another one called Self-Love and Learning How to Love Yourself. Again, I'll be there as the keynote. It'll be at the Embassy Suites in Southfield. That's 28100 Franklin Road in Southfield. It starts at 8 a.m. I'll be there. I want you guys to join me, but go to Eventbrite and register. Look for Love Under New Management on Eventbrite to register for tomorrow's event. It's completely free. If you're coming to the Chase Gray office on May 11th at 7 for our Purpose Discovery session, where we're going to unlock your greatest potential and we're going to unleash you, all your greatness and everything that comes with it, into the world to go out and produce what you should be producing, then you want to go to bit.ly. So that's bit.ly/It's a Purpose Party. That's what we're here for. It's a purpose party. I love you guys. Thank you to those of you that have shared this video. If you haven't done so, partner with me. Push share. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Facebook made it that way. And I will see you guys again next week. I love you guys. Thank you again for tuning in. And I'm going to enjoy my coffee and my Friday. And I hope that you do the same. See you guys.